If this is your first time filing a tax return, or if you've ever felt lost during tax season, don't worry. Filing taxes can be straightforward when you know what to do. And it's not just about paying your share. It's about claiming the benefits and deductions you're entitled to. Today, I'll explain the key updates for 2024 and guide you through filing your taxes. So let's jump in, and I'll let you know the things you need to know. First things first, why do we even file taxes? It's pretty simple. The federal government needs money to fund things like healthcare, infrastructure, education, defense, and even interest on the national debt. This money comes from taxpayers, you and me. If you've ever had money taken out of your paycheck for taxes, that's your contribution toward these services. But here's the thing. The amount taken out of your paycheck is based on the information you provided your employer when you filled out your W-4 form. That's why tax filing is important. It's your way of confirming how much you actually owe the government versus how much you've already paid. Now, here's how it works. Let's say you worked at a company. Your employer takes a portion of your paycheck and sends it to the IRS throughout the year. This is called withholding. But whether you get a refund or owe more money at tax time depends on your total tax liability for the year. For example, if your total tax owed for the year is $10,000 and your employer already withheld $11,000, you'll get a $1,000 refund. On the flip side, if your employer only withheld $9,000, you'll then owe $1,000. This is why filing your tax return is essential. It calculates whether you're square with the government or need to settle up. Now, for the 2024 tax year, let's talk about the standard deduction, an important concept that can significantly reduce the amount of income you're taxed on. Simply put, the standard deduction is a fixed dollar amount that lowers your taxable income. It's designed for taxpayers who don't itemize deductions, things like mortgage interest or charitable donations. By claiming the standard deduction, you automatically reduce your tax bill without the need to provide detailed records of specific expenses. For tax year 2024, the standard deduction amounts have increased, which is great news for taxpayers. Married couples filing jointly can now deduct $29,200. Single filers and married individuals filing separately can deduct $14,600, and heads of household can deduct $21,900. These increases mean you'll have a higher income threshold before owing federal income tax, which can help put more money back in your pocket. Now let's break down how to actually file your tax return. There are 3 main ways to do this, and I'll explain each one so you can decide what's best for you. Option 1 is the old school, traditional way, printing out tax forms from the IRS website and filling them out manually. This involves doing the math yourself and making sure you're including all the necessary forms and schedules. While this method works, it's not ideal for most people because it's easy to make mistakes or miss something important. Option 2 is to hire a professional. This could be a tax accountant, a preparer at a chain, or even a trusted friend or family member who knows taxes. The main benefit here is that someone else handles the details, which can save you time and stress, especially if your tax situation is complicated. However, this option usually costs money, so keep that in mind. If you go this route, make sure to check reviews or get recommendations to find someone reliable. Option 3, and the most popular choice these days, is to use tax preparation software. Tax software makes filing taxes much easier by guiding you through the process step by step. For the 2024 tax year, IRS Free File continues to be available for taxpayers with an adjusted gross income, or AGI, under certain limits, offering free filing through partner providers. Some companies also offers a free filing option for straightforward tax situations. Remember, many of these platforms are designed to catch errors and help you maximize deductions and credits. Speaking of deductions and credits, let's take a moment to talk about these because they're key to lowering your tax bill. Deductions reduce your taxable income, while credits directly reduce the amount of tax you owe. For example, the child tax credit remains $2,000 per qualifying child under 17. The Earned Income Tax Credit, EITC, has a maximum value of $7,830 for 2024, depending on income, filing status, and number of children. Education credits like the American Opportunity Credit or the Lifetime Learning Credit can help if you're a student. Once you've decided how you'll file, whether manually, with a professional, or using software, the next step is gathering all your tax documents. For most people, This includes forms like your W-2 from your employer, which shows your income and how much tax was withheld, a 1099 if you did freelance or gig work, a 1099 INT if you earn interest from a bank account, a 1099 DIV if you receive dividends from investments, a 1098 if you paid mortgage interest, and a 1098E if you paid student loan interest. These documents are typically sent to you by January or February. And here's a tip. These forms are also sent to the IRS, so make sure you report everything accurately. If there's a mismatch, the IRS will notice and send you a letter. It's not worth the hassle of dealing with that, so double-check your work. Now, let's talk about actually submitting your return. Most people e-file these days because it's faster and more secure. If you're getting a refund, e-filing means you'll usually see the money in your bank account within a couple of weeks. If you owe money, you can pay online through the IRS website or set up an installment plan if needed. Either way, it's important to file on time to avoid penalties. If you live in a state that charges income tax, you'll also need to file a state return. The good news is that most tax software automatically generates your state return based on your federal return, so it's not an extra headache. Also, one last thing, don't wait until the last minute to file. While taxes are due on April 15th, 2025, starting early gives you plenty of time to gather your documents, resolve any issues, and avoid the stress of rushing. Plus, if you're working with a professional, they often get booked up quickly, so earlier is always better. To sum it all up, filing your taxes is a three-step process. First, gather all your documents and choose how you'll file: manually, with a professional, or using software. Second, complete your return and e-file it with the IRS. And third, either pay what you owe or enjoy your refund. It's really that simple. If you're still feeling unsure, take a deep breath. You got this. And remember, if you have questions, leave them in the comments below. I'll do my best to help you out. And also check out some of our other videos for help with filing, including how to fill out the 1040 tax form. Thanks for watching, and good luck with your taxes.